I read that Franny Frischella had it in a column today over in USA Today with Eric Prisbel and Nicole Arbach. Hey, talking about great classes, we're talking about this class. I mentioned the 79-80s, my favorite. 2007 is a good class, too. All right, let's get down to the game here.
Selden to a wide-open Mason. Mason going inside again.
That's his game. Attack the rim.
Wilbekin off the side of the backboard.
Should have dumped that off.
Mason with a full head of steam lays it in.
And that's the kind of Kansas basketball you expect to see.
Wiggins on the bench right now with the under-12 media timeout coming shortly.
You got to create some passing lanes for one another.
Here's a good look for Mason. Knocks it down.
And that's not his strength. He was 3 for 19 shooting the three coming into this game.
Stark short on the step back. Trailer. Man, he has worked hard in this game. Mason goes to the left hand and lays it in.
Here's Frank Mason left open and hits. This match is the biggest lead of the day for the Aztecs.
Larry Ellis can really score. They need to get him the ball.
Mason saw the opening. Tharp against Fames. Still 20 to shoot. Mason's going to try a three. Got it.
Wiggins yet to get involved here offensively for Kansas.
Got to credit in part Oklahoma State's activity there. Listen with the beautiful finish.
And take him out. They've gone to the post where he can see where the defense is coming from and doing a great job of picking them apart and creating opportunities for his teammates. Mason lines it up, and he cans a triple.
O'Neal on the drive. They continue to attack the paint area. I like the strategy. Mason on the drive. Coach will notice that. That's what he wants from his point guard. Mason a runner. Good looking floater by that young man from Petersburg, Virginia. He made a run at a fellow by the name of Moses Malone.
Frank Mason to the 10, the freshman from Petersburg, Virginia.
Adjusting the height on his shot in order to avoid guys like Embiid from blocking it. Mason and one. There's a little guy weaving into traffic and getting it done.
Take a look, watch him take it body to body right there. Well done. If you're the smaller player, watch him go body to body, and he neutralizes Williams' ability to leave his feet.
Felix, the team's leading scorer in conference games, better than 15 points per game. Taylor not getting the bounce here in Lawrence. Mason gets the roll at the other end. Their season low for the first half, 18. That was in a loss to Kansas State. Open three from Mason, and that's good. Embiid the block. Felix blocked by Embiid again. eBay. Here comes Kansas. Mason against Taylor to the left hand, and he gets the roll.
It's been pretty good, and they play by far the toughest non-conference schedule in the country.
Mason, shot fake, steps in, and knocks down the jumper. Here's Andrew White, number 3 in white, checking into the game for Kansas for the first time. Frank Mason from the outside.
Ellis back outside. Mason guns the long ball. Yes. Good inside-outside play by the Jayhawks.
And not a surprise, Brent.
Mason dribble drive. And outstanding performance by the young point guard. His first field goal of the game.
They want him taking that shot.
Come the Jayhawks. Here come the Jayhawks.
Mason.
Here come the Jayhawks.
Where do you want to see the ball go? Well, there it goes from Mason. And that's a three.
Had to sit out a year, of course, after transferring. So it's been a while for Jesse Morgan since he's been able to play basketball.
Peter Mason at the time getting 16 shots up in his opening game.
Made a bunch of them, too. That goes down. for Frank Mason. And he has a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. The foul called on Will Cummings.
Kansas to be really good. Frank Mason's got to be aggressive. He's got to try to score. He's physically strong. Watch how Kappa does a great job of keeping Kansas out on the perimeter. Toes to the three-point line. Hard to penetrate against. Help's coming early.
How tough was that left-handed finish for Mason? Trailer gets position inside, but it's blocked by Aneshionia. Back outside, though, and Mason hits a three. Mason hands the Trailer, who fumbles it to the corner to Mason. He hits a three. That's a good way to end the half for Kansas.
I got a question. Is there any truth to the rumor you tried to dump me on tonight's assignment to go to either Boca Raton or San Diego?
No, why would I ever want to go to Florida when I can come to Philly and hang out with Seth Greenberg? That runner goes for Frank Mason.
Mason drives. Oubre over gathers. Green saves it. Mason got it, and Kansas needed that.
Well, Baylor never got their zone reset.
Mason on the run. Got it to roll down.
Follow doesn't go.
Oh, look at this. Oh, baby, what action. Pick it up and go.
Mason on a crossover. Mason the drive. He banks it in and a foul. What a sequence. Stolen away. It's Graham. Race to the rim. Graham feeds. Mason fills.
Mason on the drive and one.
That's his first 2 points of the game, Brent. He had 7 assists in that first half, but 0 for 5. Watch how much room Naslong gives him on the drive, and he's got that ability with that strength to get it right up on the glass. Right now, if you're Kansas, you're going to run some clock, spread the floor like they've done. They've got a number of guys that can play isolation basketball.
Mason off the dribble, left-handed, carving him up.
Especially with Nash in foul trouble, you have to have them on the floor.
Mason open. Mason hits another three. Green three. No good, but Trailer hustles and grabs the offensive rebound. Kansas is 0 for 15 from 3, and they've got a chance to win the game.
You try to attack early, give yourself a chance to get to the rim, maybe draw a foul. Don't need the three off a pull-up, only off a kick-out.
Mason down the lane. Mason scores. Get the ball in bounds. Now Graham is trapped. Lucas was open, but Lucas, the big man, Mason kept it himself. Mason goes all the way. Well, Kansas didn't make him pay. This is the biggest lead for Oklahoma. Mason hits the three. So there's one that goes down.
Creativity. Watch out.
Graham, I think he thought he was fouled. He follows his own miss and kicks it out to Mason. The three goes down. Better things are happening for Oklahoma when they get Tayshaun Thomas the ball.
And get into the lane. Same thing.
Mason runner.
Look at that.
Frank Mason, nifty ball handle.
Iowa State and Oklahoma, the second game. Finals tomorrow afternoon. 5 Kansas City time. Mason on a drive.
Yep.
According to our buddy Joey Brackets, they load Trailer now. Kick it back to Mason. Mason drives beautifully.
Yep.
Boy, we've got some great point guards in the Big 12, and he's one of them. This is guard time, folks.
See, if they don't trap here, Brent, they're going to allow time to go off the clock. Look at that.
Oh, and one for Mason.
Informing their big fellas that they had the corner. No oop there.
Mason looking for the pick. Here's Mason. Yes. Frank Mason.
The dedication as far as mentally it takes to get through those games and get that ugly win, it's tougher a lot of times than maybe teams you could beat easily.
Nice move down the lane, working his way, Frank Mason. Well, Greg Marshall of Wichita State says he's been trying for years to schedule it. That's a three-pointer.
They'll settle down a little bit now. Oh, hello, numbers. He's got Selden. He'll take it himself. A fast break igniter. A pretty good D to force a tough layup. Mason switched hands. He just flew by the green shirts. Defense in a little bit of a disarray, not addressing the dribble drive, and he knows he can explode. And how about the adjustment to at the rim?
Mason back to Ellis.
Keeping the ball alive was Diallo, giving him a second opportunity.
This team is going to be a major contender to cut down the nets and win a national championship. Pull up by Woodard.
Selden only played 9 minutes. They got to get him going. He's been sensational all year.
Driving through is Mason. Mason alone on the drive and one. Mason's three, yes.
So you got to get him out on the floor, Ellis.
Graham. I should say Mason. That shot on the run. No whistle. Here comes Ellis now. Back on Thomas. Feeds Mason for the driving layup at the buzzer. Count it.
To get Jamal Murray going. Yeah, he's knocked a couple shots down, but he needs to do even more.
Mason rattles home a three.
Brian Priscilla talked about here in the first half. On the floor to finish it up. Here's Mason, the point guard. 15 on a drive. Beautiful shot.
Good save. For a guard his size is a terrific rebound. And Jordan Woodard, who just missed that shot, that makes him 3 of his last 21.
Boy, Mason did a beautiful job there pretending to call for a ball screen. I mean, there's no disputing the talent of Green. Mason gets inside. It'll drop.
Now, can Kansas on the road, where they've won 6 of their last 14 in Big 12 play, can they move this lead out a bit? And a terrific drive. The ball is moving from side to side.
Picked up by the Cowboys. They got numbers. Carroll's going to go to the glass. Could not score, and so Mason comes quickly back. Drives, lays it up. Beautiful end-to-end drive by Mason. Mason comes through. Good hustle by Green, and now it's Mason on the attack. Spins it outside. There's Selden. And back comes the littlest man on the floor. How about Mason?
Chris and Andy will have that at halftime of this one.
Now they got a mismatch right now.
Mason shoots right over Wade and hits a three.
And that wasn't even the mismatch.
In the first half, he's been so good lately.
But I think that's one thing you like about this Kansas team. So many different guys can step up and make plays and score points for this team.
Kansas State, and they don't often run. Couldn't convert in transition that time. Mason behind the back.
Frank Mason. If you know that coming in because you've gotten the scouting report, then you know you have to do a better job and be more concentrated on the glass.
Well, that'll count as another offensive board. The tip back didn't go. Mason all the way. Mason count the basket with a foul.
First fast break points of the game for the Jayhawks. Mason with no numbers, but he just attacks. Medford has his feet inside of that yellow restricted arc.
Mason on the move. Mason uses the glass. So the defensive have taken over in this second half. Mason again with the ball handling, and this time he finishes.
Tough. over his last 6.
Mason driving, kicked out for Graham. Mason all alone, shoots that 3 and drains it. Mason tries and scores. Smith faces up on Lucas. Evans high off the glass. Ellis the run out with Mason. Mason somehow got it over Smith for the bucket.
Texas plays zone on inbounds. They go back man.
Mason.
Oh boy, quick start. And you got to worry about Green as well.
Here comes Mason, the floater. Beautiful shot.
It's a team that has shored its defense up in the last month.
Mason back the other way. Hesitation, flips it in.
1-2 on the double. They go back to Hurt on the outside. Deflected Graham. Makes a beautiful steal. Hits Mason. Oh, what a defensive play by Graham. 5.5 minutes left here in the first half. Baylor waits the winner. Mason scored. A triple. So, Holly, I would think that Coach Weber would really want to get Wade more involved, wouldn't he?
That's right. In fact, at the half, we talked about how do you get Wade more involved. He said it's just unfortunate. He came out. He had such a great night last night.
Misses the 3 ball. Graham gets his first rebound. Fire Mason, and he hits his 3.
Those 2 little guards, they play with some mental telepathy.
There's no surprise for the Jayhawks, having played it twice. There's a turnover, lead pass. This should be easy for Mason. And it is. Kansas leads it. West Virginia and Oklahoma. They will play the second game. Knocked away, and they force a turnover. Lucas. And here comes Mason inside to tie it up. Great crowds for every meeting. Of course, we're packed with Jayhawk fans. And Mason exploits and goes in for the left-hand layup. This is a great battle of different styles.
Absolutely, yep. This Kansas team has been so consistent all year with 29 wins.
There's Mason gliding in.
They sure can. They can use him. I love this guy. He's such a competitor.
That's Mason off the glass.
He's just
Be able to advance, and we'll see how they pull off moments like this.
a little ball screen and watch box to box underneath.
It's Mason.
Didn't need anything.
Maryland came out in the first half as Mason down the lane with the easy finish.
Ellis able to save it to Lucas.
And now Mason takes
Tough
it
shot.
in. Yeah, really tough, but he handles it.
A sensational second half.
And a nice job at the press.
Oh, it's Mason who made the steal, and what a shot!
Timeout, quickly. Who can really stir it up? Look at that. Pirouette, delivery, a little kiss. There's Spidler and Lawrence, and the Kansas bench as well.
2.5 to go. Mason the drive, and a chance for 3.
That angled screen. And Juwan Morgan just can't get picked off that easy on the pick. But he went right, just let a little juke move and went into the body. As Indiana gets better defensively, they're going to get better offensively too. This is going to be a dangerous team to play.
What a drive by Mason. Mason with Anunoby on him. They can switch just about everything.
Got to drive it.
Mason does. And gets another one. Frank Mason taken over.
He has taken on all comers in this last minute and a half when Indiana looked like they were salting the game away. Couple missed free throws. Mason, 3-point play. Foul, Mason. Opportunity for a 3-point play.
Up by the hash mark. And Kansas was very smart to make him make a tough shot and not foul.
Mason with a pull-up over Kennard. Tough shot. Tied again.
Frank Mason, the last 3 that Devontae Graham hit, he was telling the officials, hey, the guy hit me when I was shooting. These officials have done a good job. The players have to stop fouling.
Graham to Mason. Count it, and a foul.
That was a big-time play, and I'll tell you what, you got to give LeGerald Vick a lot of credit for keeping that ball alive.
Now a turnover, miscommunication. It's Mason with a reverse. Jackson played much better tonight, but again, the minutes severely limited because of foul trouble as Mason gets all the way to the glass.
Two guys in the corner, open up the middle for Frank Mason. Let him create.
Takes a bump and finishes.
He just body seeks. He goes right into the body of Emil Jefferson. Jefferson just brought those arms down a little bit. If he kept them straight up, I'm not sure that would have been whistled. But look how he keeps his eyes up. You know, I've said this before, your eyes make layups. You keep your eyes up and your eyes on the rim, you will complete plays.
5 seconds to go. Mason, the pull-up jumper. Yes! 1.8.
Mikhailuk, quick trigger. That's short again. The back tap, though. Jackson to Graham to Mason. He's got a three. Mason on the drive, comes up short with the left hand. Finds the back tap, though. Scores, plus the foul.
Teague.
As a bookie.
Hey, as great as the block was, keeping it in play was even better.
And then Mason works the baseline.
UNC Asheville getting the switch, finding the ball inside to the mismatch. Will Weeks in the post against Frank Mason.
Tough shot.
Well, I think Frank was a little mad about the offensive charge call, and he said, "The heck, but I'm going." Boy, and they've gone through the paddles already.
Man, haven't they? They go zone again, and Mason makes them pay. The Jayhawks now with 13 threes in the game. The outlet pass. Graham. Oh, he was just waiting for Mason to cut in.
Gibbs off the mark, strong, and LeGerald Vick making his first entrance into the game, grabs the rebound. Mason, chance at a three-point play.
He puts in incredible pressure on your transition defense because you have to get back to the paint, build your wall from the paint out. But watch, the red jersey's still backpedaling, and he just splits that. Splits the two defenders at the foul line.
Against Texas Tech, shook off the rust and ended up coming back to beat the Red Raiders. Let's see if we have some of that type of play tonight for Kansas. Mason, tough shot. Wanted to foul, didn't get it. Mason, pull up. Yes, that's senior leadership. And you know, skill development was something that he learned at Kansas. Mason heating up.
Yeah, you asked Jamie Dixon about him being a freshman. He goes, yeah, you know, I don't really think of him as a freshman.
7 on the shot clock. Mason knocks it down.
Move, flipping it up off the window, but off the mark, McGusty. Saved, right to Devontae Graham. Here comes Mason. Numbers, the ball fake, and a finish by Frank Mason.
30% on the season.
Odoms leans in on Mikhailuk and misses badly. Devontae Graham, 2-on-1, lobs it to Frank Mason.
They have really picked it up.
Mason, off the mark. The back tap keeps it alive again. Mason for 3. It's a 6-point trip. Frank Mason, off balance, floater off the glass.
Lucas will clear off the miss. Mason, left hand, got it. Texas has gone around 5 minutes without a field goal.
Yep.
Mason found a little crease, and that's all it takes.
They get the ball away from the double team really well.
6-point game here in Morgantown. Mason inside. Offensive rebound and the putback for one of the smallest guys in the court.
And same with Bill Self. He understands. We're flowing again. 2-on-1. 2-on-1. Oh, use the bounce pass.
Wow. Able to convert.
Kentucky's done a good job so far guarding the three-point line. Even though Frank Mason III able to get all the way to the rim.
And the weave again from the Jayhawks. Graham needs help, finds his buddy Mason. Mason drives past his defender and banks it home. What a tough shot for Frank Mason. Long, long stretch without a whistle. We've got one now.
Takeaway by Graham. Watch the speed. Mason. And one. Sets up Vic. Back tap to Vic.
Terrific tip out by Lucas.
Mason in the corner. Stays perfect from three-point line. Mason uses the screen and connects along two.
Battle you all the way. Oh, great head fake.
Vic sets up Mason in the corner. Yes.
What a great play by Vic.
Graham gets some room. Off to the right, offensive rebound. Landon Lucas. Fresh shot clock, and Mason straight away with a step back. There's a big three for Frank Mason and a timeout called by Bill Self. Mason will drive it with the left hand.
What a terrific drive right there by Mason.
Baylor up by 12. Bragg playing with those two fouls. Mason lines it up, and he buries it. It's a triple.
You mentioned this backcourt.
39-33 Baylor. Lucas had an opening there. The cut. Mason. That's your drop.
He really bailed his teammate out.
4 of 7 from three-point territory. He's got 14 points. The drive and the finish.
Billy's got a button down.
Kansas looking for the lead. Vic swings it. Graham on a bounce. Mason, the floater. Frank Mason III has taken over.
Straight up man. Lucas tried to duck in.
Mason drives. Mason! Frank Mason is lethal.
Right now, Miles, TCU doesn't want any part of the party for Kansas here tonight.
No, they've came out. They've essentially taken the crowd out of the game as Fisher makes a big mistake. You see the little pass fake that drew Fisher in. You never want to help off a ball side shooter, especially when it's a guy same foot, same hand jump shot, and then the missed free throw block out.
Bragg thought better of it, and then Mason.
Looking at him, Josh Jackson.
Here's Carroll, already with 10. Can't make it 13, but he's coming off maybe his worst performance of the season. He only had 7 points against Iowa State. He's got 10 tonight.
Psychologically, it affects you a little too.
Nice to have Frank Mason as a security blanket.
It doesn't affect him at all.
Vic lost his footing, but kept his dribble. Mason for three. Foul! Plus the foul!
Been there, done that. Has had it, Kansas. He's that good. He's like Monte Morris in his playmaking.
Rodzianski tried to pull him away from the rim and missed the three. Mason pulls up. He's got a triple.
The move by Lamar across the lane and knocked away by Bragg and picked up by Vic. It's Graham. Hold on for Mason. Oh! Onyebalu has just checked in. Michael Onyebalu from Englewood, California. Mason right down the hatch. Ain't a good stuff, thank you. Here comes Kansas with a couple of substitutions. Wiggling inside is Mason. Maybe the national player of the year. The senior. Over McQuaid.
It's a 2.
Or I should say it's not too quick if it goes in the basket.
Frank Mason.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
And what did Matt Painter told us? If Edwards is on his game at both ends of the floor, we're pretty hard to beat.
Mason hits the 3. Little two-man game. Swanigan coughed it up. Lucas defending. Ahead Mason. Foul. Count it.
And down low in the post.
Shot clock is down to 4. Mason fires.
Oh, he's good. This young man is so good.
Mason 3. Took it. Comes in number 3 in the AP poll. The number 2, number 1 seed. Look at Mason drive. He is slippery. It's shaping up as an Oregon Duck, Kansas Jayhawk regional final. Mason to the hole. Both teams in the Elite 8 for a second consecutive season. Mason works on Bell and takes it inside.
Yeah, but if you're Jackson, you're very fortunate not to pick up number 3 right there.
Mason with a triple. He was the top three-point shooter.
Those steals generating a lot of offense, and that guy generates a lot of offense.
Especially in the second half. 7 straight misses for KU. Mason, the hesitation and the floater.